Now the next part is cookie. So what is a cookie? Basically it is a file that contains small textual information about the activity of a user. User means we. So we will have different types of cookies. Okay, the first type of cookies is session cookies. Okay, the next type is tracking cookies, and then the cooking is authentication cookies. Okay, so all these different types of cookies store different types of information about a user. Okay, so for example, session cookies, the first type of cookies, are used to track a person when he or she is currently navigating a website. That means whenever you are doing something on website, the session cookies will track you. The next type of cookies is tracking cookies. So you can assume what it does. As it is tracking cookies, that means these type of cookies are used for creating and storing users long term records during his or her multiple visits to a particular website. Okay, so that means basically this type of cookies store the long term information or records, okay, during your visit to a particular website. The next type of cookies is authentication cookies. So authentication cookies are used for determining whether a particular user is logged in or not. Okay, so all these cookies are very much important for cyber safety. Okay, but we are talking now about some harmful cookies, all the listed below. Number one is super cookies, then zombie cookies, then third party tracking cookies. So first one is super cookies. These cookies are threats to the computer security, and therefore many browsers provide ways for users to block them on the computer. The next one is zombie cookies. These cookies are capable of recreating themselves in spite of being deleted and are therefore very difficult to manage. Next type cookies, or the last type of cookies, is third party tracking cookies. These cookies also possess security concerns as they allow third parties, usually unknown to you, to get information about your activities on the internet. The third party cookies may lead to the opening of unwanted ads on your computer. Okay, so this was the basic of the cookies. Go to the next slide. Now the first point is HTTP referrer. An HTTP referrer is a URL. You know what is the full form URL? Uniform Resource Locator. Okay, where you have to put the address of any website. So an HTTP referrer is a URL that navigates a visitor of a particular website to another website. Okay, while navigating, it also sends the information related to that visitor, such as machine's IP address, location of visitor, web browser details, and so on. Okay, okay. So that is basically HTTP referrer that refers to another website. That refers to another website. Next part is user agent. Whenever you visit a website using the browser, that means web browser of your computer or any other device, the browser sends a user agent to web server, which is nothing but the information about the operating system and the browser that you use in your computer. Okay, so that was basically HTTP referrer and user agent. Now we'll look some precaution. Now we will have some precautions that can be taken to prevent such thefts. Are number one, use the latest security software in your computer and keep it up to date while using the internet. Number 2 point, Check carefully the email messages before responding to them. Then, number third is create strong passwords for login accounts on websites. And last, use the authentic websites to buy things and make financial transactions. Okay, go to the next slide. So now we'll be looking at the privacy settings. Okay, so what should you remember when you are on the internet and you are doing something on internet? So number one is set privacy settings on your social media accounts so that only known persons can view your information. Next point is check the profile of unknown person before accepting any friend request from them. Third one is use anonymous browsers for visiting and viewing websites for preventing your personal information from being shared on the internet. Next, use the proxy mechanism in which the proxy machine acts as a mediator between your computer and the website that you wanted to access. Next point is use VPN, that is virtual private network mechanism, for adding security and privacy to its network. And last is use new private window like incognito and in private browsing to prevent your information from being shared on the internet. It helps in minimizing the risks of information theft as it does not get saved in browser of a particular computer. Okay, so all these are the privacy settings. Next slide. Now we'll be on maintaining the confidentiality. So actually confidentiality ensures that only an authorized person can access the network resources to get the valuable information provided on the network. Okay, so here you are putting the password to maintain the confidentiality. The confidentiality of information can be ensured by the following practices. What are the following practices? Number one is use firewall on your computer. Use your browser settings to prevent your tracking. Avoid posting personal information on internet. Post sensitive information on authenticated websites. Handle emails carefully. Avoid giving sensitive information on public wireless network. And then use public computers very carefully. Okay. Go to the next point. The next part is proper uses of password. So whenever we log in any social media or any website, then we need a password. So basically a password is a secret word or phrase that is generally used for gaining access to some device. Okay, it can be created by using numbers, words and symbols alone or in combination. So it is kept secret from others and is used for authentication of users. Okay, so here hackers can easily crack a user password due to the following reasons. Users want to keep their passwords simple so that passwords can be remembered. Users create passwords that are relevant to their lives. Okay, and last, users often use the same password for different accounts. So you have to avoid all these to keep your password safe or to keep your information safe. Okay, go to the next part. Now we are talking about the strong password for email accounts or any accounts. So the password, whatever you are giving it for your account, should be a minimum of 8 characters long. Okay, then it should be a combination of words. It should not be the name of any family member, important dates, name of the pets, passport number, driving license number, or your hobbies or anything. Avoid using dictionary words as passwords. Must not include any part of the user account name in the password. Create a password that includes the characters of at least 3 types from the various categories. We know special characters are there, numbers are there, uppercase characters are there, lowercase characters are there. So take a mixture of all these characters and put in a password. Okay, that will be a strong password. Got it? Go to the next slide. Now, what is a crime? That means basically here cyber crime. So any crime on network is known as the cyber crime. So basically crime is an act that is considered wrong in the eyes of the law. The breach of cyber ethics is called cyber crime and can be categorized into 3 main categories. Number 1 is crimes against individuals, crimes against data and hardware, and then crimes against society. Crimes against individuals mean it includes threats or harassment through the use of information technology or IT. Crimes against data and hardware means it involves harming data or hardware through unauthorized and illegal means. And at last, crimes against society means it involves all kinds of acts performed with the intention to inflict harm on the society. Using information technology to support terrorism, cracking the security of any government or military agency, and using social platform for causing communal disrupt are some examples of this type of cyber crime. Okay, so avoid all the crimes. Now, any occurrence of cybercrime should be reported to the concerned regulatory and government agencies, which ensure confidentiality of the information as well as pass various laws to ensure that the information is not disclosed in front of unauthenticated persons or parties. Okay, so there are some acts that are passed by the government to discourage cyber crimes. Number 1 is Computer Security Act of 1987, then Cyberspace Electronic Security Act, and then Cyber Security Enhancement Act. Okay, so all these acts already passed by the government to discourage the cyber crime. So be careful about all the acts. Now we will be learning about the cyber stalking. So what is cyber stalking? Cyber stalking is a type of crime in which an attacker stalks or harasses a user by using the electronic means of communication such as email, online chatting. Okay, so there are number of ways that can you use to guard yourself against cyber stalking. Okay, some of which are: be vigilant of the physical accessibility of your computer or other devices on which you access the internet. The next point is you must log out from devices or from online accounts properly. Number 3, do not share your passwords with others and make habit of changing the passwords regularly. Next is never share your plans online or on social media sites. And last one is you must set the privacy settings carefully on the social media account so that only the people known to you can see your information. Got it? So basically stalking means, already told, stalking means harassment. Okay, so it is a crime, cyber stalking. Go to the next slide. So now it comes about the antivirus. So antivirus is a software basically. It is used to identify, prevent and take action against malicious program such as viruses and worms by deactivating or deleting them from the computer. So An antivirus software protects your computer from virus by various types, by various ways: scanning email messages and their attachments, scanning and monitoring files and folders to ensure that they are not infected, scanning your computer's files on a regular basis. Okay, so some popular antivirus software are Norton Antivirus, McAfee, Quick Heal, Kaspersky. Okay, so you can use any of this type of antivirus software. Okay, so antivirus becomes inactive if it is switched off for any reason or if it is not up to date. So you have to keep in mind that whenever you are installing an antivirus on your computer, you must up to date the antivirus you use. Okay, so all these points are very much important. Go to the next. Now it is taking data backup. You should always keep a backup of your important data on your computer. So taking regular backup ensures that your computer data is protected and can be recovered in the following circumstances. Number one is if hardware failure, accidental deletion or modification of data, restoration of old version of a file, and unauthorized deletion or modification of data. Okay, so you can use different types of storage devices such as CD, DVD, external hard disks, USB drive to take the backup of your data. So be concerned about your data backup. Okay, and also here now online backups are available here. Okay, go to the next. Now come to the next point, that is social networking, which is very much interesting to you. Okay, so what is social networking? Social networking on the internet is a popular with users of all age groups, but more so with youngsters in universities, high schools, colleges, and peoples in workplaces. It is a convenient way to get know people whose interests, opinions, and likes and dislikes are quite similar to yours. The internet contains various social networking sites, and you only need to register all these websites to be a part of this network. After registering at a social networking site, you can create your own list of friends to interact and share views with them. You can also share your photos, audio, or video files with others. Okay, so many popular social networking websites are there: Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter, MySpace. Okay, so all these are the social networking sites. Now we will take some advantages of using social networking sites. So number first one is worldwide connectivity. Through social networking sites, you can search anyone from anywhere in the world, such as your friend who stays miles apart, your first grade teacher, or your college roommate. It allows you to connect and interact with each other without worrying about the distance. Number two is free advertising. You can use social media to promote your business, products, services, or even ideas, and that too free of cost. Last point is community of interest. So what is community of interest? On social networking sites, you can find people having the same interests or hobbies as yours. You can create a group and share your thoughts and work with each other. Okay, so this was the advantages of social networking sites, but also it has the disadvantages. We will be looking at the next slide. So there are some risks involved. With social networking site, which are as follows. Number one is cyberbullying, theft of personal information, and at last fake profile. So what do you mean by cyberbullying? At times, use of social networking can lead to cyberbullying or crimes against children. Cyberbullying mainly occurs to harass or embarrass someone else by using the internet, using mobile phones, emails, chatting, or social networking. Got it? Next point, theft of personal information. While creating accounts, you need to give your personal details. Sometimes fraudsters steal this information and misuse it anywhere. Next is fake profile. Anyone can create a fake personal profile, okay, to pretend to be someone else with another person. In such cases, both individuals start sharing their personal information, which can be misused by the false person. So be alert about the fake profile also. Okay. So this was the disadvantages, main disadvantages of using social networking sites. Thank you very much. I have tried my best to give you the idea about the cyber safety, okay, or you can say that cyber security. So listen to it. Thank you.